Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at just how good the LR Gohan Teen, Goten Kid and Trunks Kid unit is after their Extreme Z Awakening during part 3 of the anniversary. So obviously they recently got their EZA as part of part 3. And in terms of leader skill, they lead Joint Forces and Hybrid Saiyans, which is pretty decent for them, 120% as well. In terms of their super attack effects, nothing too crazy realistically. They raise attack and defense on their 12 key and massively raise attack on their 18 key. It's a bit weird that they don't raise their defense on their 18 key. I feel like massively raising defense would have been great. But they activate the entrance animation once upon entry only. They have key +2 and attack and defense of 70% for 7 turns from the start of turn. They have attack and defense of 70% with key +1, plus an additional attack of 70% when there's an ally whose name includes Goku attacking in the same turn. They will receive 1 key and defense of 70% if that ally is attacking in the same rotation. Similarly, if there is a Vegeta's family ally on the team or a unit that includes Vegeta in the name, they will receive an additional defense of 70%, and if that ally is in the same turn, they will receive an additional attack of 70% and an additional key. This means that they're basically best orientated on the Joint Forces team. It's generally going to be where you find them working out the best. And they're only currently on Majin Buu Saga, Joint Forces and Hybrid Saiyans. However, they probably would be best to run on the Bond of Parent and Child category that will be coming out on Dokkan Battle Global in future. So that's kind of the gist of everything. In terms of build, you're probably going to want to prioritize critical hits. They don't have any built-in critical hits, and they can hit a decent attack stat, although nothing too crazy overall. So let's take a look at how they do. We're going to try them out on a Hybrid Saiyans team, and we're going to try them out on a Joint Forces team. Their best link to have is probably going to be Shattering the Limit and Cold Judgment. That's generally going to see you get the best out of them. Here we're going to have them on the Joint Forces team. We've got them linked up with this Vegeta and Bulma unit that they share 4 links with, including Cold Judgment, which is very, very important. Remember that you want to have a unit with Vegeta in the name so that you can have that additional attack and defense. We're also going to see them on rotation with a Goku family unit in the name as well, and we should see them have a pretty good go of things. But yeah, overall, it's going to be a pretty solid showing, I think, from most of these units. So it's going to be something pretty interesting. Obviously, it does limit them quite a lot, I think, which is a lot of people's complaints. Like, it's not that they're a bad unit. I think they're a pretty good unit, but I feel like they're a lot more limited than last year's LR. Last year's LR being Master Roshi. Master Roshi was a unit that felt like he brought a lot to the table himself, whereas Goten and Trunks feels like a unit that kind of needs the other 2 anniversary units to be super effective. So it's a bit of a catch-22 kind of situation for them. They're really good with the other anniversary units who themselves aren't necessarily the greatest. And in terms of everything else, it just feels like they're a bit too limited to see they're really, really, really good. And like, they're really, really good stats, and their best performance is very limited. So it can be a little bit of an underwhelming situation, but you can still get a lot out of them, and I think they still are very good. Without a doubt, they statistically look incredibly good, and I think it is important to take note that they are very impressive. So here we go, we've got the active animation. This will be probably the best turn we'll see out of them, like, completely. Not only do they have all their conditions met, but they have double support from both the Vegeta and the Goku unit. Only of 22%, but still pretty damn good. So yeah, we'll see how well they do. Obviously 254,000 defense, pretty good. With their 18 key, they will be increasing that as well, which is obviously great. So we'll see them rise to about 300k defense, which is pretty good. Obviously they have quite a bit of support on the rotation. This Vegeta and Bulma unit's a very effective linking partner for them. I really like them because they have that chance of damage reduction, which can make them relatively tanky. 4.8 million's pretty good, could be better, obviously will be better if you do link level them, but yeah, 254k defense, 4.8 million, 44% support on the rotation, so yeah, pretty good stuff overall. Over 300k defense, it's very solid unit. It's just the setup, yeah, it's a very solid unit, but it required us to use both other free-to-play units, and it's just it does kind of pushing the team out a little bit in terms of design, I think, which is the big thing that kind of pushes against using the unit so much. It's just that limitation on your team build, and there's only like 2 categories you can do it in. Now the cool thing is that you need only the Goku and Vegeta name. So a unit like, for example, Strength Goku and Vegeta Angel, or TEQ Goku and Vegeta Angel, those like duo Goku and Vegeta cards, they actually meet both of their requirements, which is pretty good and helps these guys out a lot, especially since that means you don't have to necessarily try and run a team that constantly procs the rotation. You can just literally have them run with one of those units, and generally speaking, it's actually a pretty good pairing for them. Most of the time they have shocking speed, they have Saiyan lineage, they have some pretty solid link sets with them overall, so yeah, it is relatively quite good actually, and is honestly a pretty solid kind of pairing for them. So yeah, Join Forces team, obviously one of their better showings, but you can activate their conditions on Majin Buu Saga as well. It's just the Hybrid Saiyans team where you're not going to be able to get that Goku and Vegeta to proc so often, but that's not the end of the world. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to their like overall performance. So yeah, we're gonna try them out now on a Hybrid Saiyans team just to see what their stats are like without any of the Goku or Vegeta proccing, and see how much it affects them. The most it'll affect is their defense. You're going to see that fall below the like 200k mark, and their attack will diminish, but not as badly as the defense does. So yeah, I think overall they did pretty well with these units. Link sets, actually, I think Cold Judgment's a great link to stick on units. I think Saiyan Lineage gives them a solid combination kind of key link. It's generally good for Hybrid Saiyans and Pure Saiyans units. Shocking Speed and Trainer Limit kind of covers them a lot in terms of key links. And yeah, like I said, solid support's great on Join Forces. So yeah, overall, it's really solid. And I think, for the most part, the team is really good actually. Their links are quite solid and give them a lot of decent options. I think, comparatively to other units, I think their link set was done pretty well. They also link up great with the Goku and Vegeta Jr. It's a shame that Goku and Vegeta Jr. don't proc their full passive. They are purposefully excluded. Feel like that would have been a pretty cool combination to run, and would have actually made them have a partner on the Hybrid Saiyans team, and actually kind of made both LRs a really cool little combination. So I do think that's a bit of a shame. Obviously they don't have Cold Judgment here, which is like the only real hindrance to them, but 160-ish thousand defense is pretty good, but below the 3 million mark in terms of damage, so that is a noticeable drop off to what they were. So there's definitely something to be cognizant of. It's definitely something that you can notice, that drop off, the inability to have Goku and the Vegeta units, that lack of additional defense and attack that they would have had, because even if they're not on rotation, just having units with the name kind of really pushes them out and improves them. That extra 70% really counts. Another thing I don't really like is the fact that their 70% does diminish after 7 turns. It's okay for events like the SBR and ESBR, but it kind of pushes the unit down in terms of like all other content. You know, LGE runs longer than 7 turns, even with some of the best teams. LVE runs longer than 7 turns. Most red zone fights are longer than 7 turns as well. So in a lot of the hardest content, they're going to be losing 70% at very crucial moments, which is why they become very difficult to run in those events, I think. So yeah, like it is a little bit of an unfortunate design flaw, I think. I don't see why they did that. I don't think they needed to do that. You can see them improve a little bit here, 3.4 million. Really nice, solid rotation by them. Good damage as well, follow-up attack. Their defense will be pretty high at this point, over 200k. Obviously we have the Cold Judgment active now as well from the Trunks. So you can see they're not, by any definition of the term, terrible under a Hybrid Saiyans team. They're not like, they're not shocking. They're just not as good, and they're not spectacular. And I think that's kind of the thing, is like, people realistically wanted them to be a little bit better, I think, across the board. And I just think, yeah, generally speaking, they can be a little bit disappointing. Like, they're not bad. It's just that's not, when you look at events like Red Zone, when you look at a lot of these events, and you need your 300k defense, you need units to hit 5 or 6 million attack stats to kind of push through the barrier nowadays, or to be usable in a lot of the events. I think, it can be a little bit underwhelming to see how they're doing, and that's not, it's not their fault or anything like that. It is just, unfortunately, one of those things. So, yeah, I think for the most part, they still look very impressive. I still really like using them. I think they're not a unit that you're going to be able to use in Red Zone. Their drop-off of 70% after 7 turns is what's going to be the problem. And the teams you can run them on are just a tad too limited right now. Maybe when Bond of Parent and Child comes out, things will be a bit better. But yeah, you're still seeing good numbers out of them. Just they're a little bit restricted. Even running this Trunks with them, like this Trunks thrives on the Vegeta's family team, so it's literally like not running him correctly either. So it's not like he's a good pairing partner for them, even though he shares a lot of links with them. It's not like he's a unit that you actually want to run with them, because you're actually being a hindrance to him by default. So that's a little bit of a shame. But yeah, overall I think they're still very, very good. I think they got a great animation. I think they're really cool. I think they look good. I think they've got a lot going on. And I think, generally speaking, they can be pretty decent still, with or without the boosts. So yeah, in terms of links, Saiyan Lineage, solid support, Cold Judgment, shocking speed, Shattering the Limit, legendary power, all relatively solid links. I think in terms of the links, if you do want to kind of like focus on any, I definitely think you need to focus on a combination of Cold Judgment and Shattering the Limit, or Cold Judgment and shocking speed. I feel like those are not musts, but they are, well, actually, yeah, they're pretty much musts. You need to have Cold Judgment. It just makes their defense so much better and really pushes them into like a better like section. There are some great units for that though. They've got good linking partners on Joined Forces, on Hybrid Saiyans, all with that combination of links. When you look at, the power, if you look at like Tien and Roshi, they have solid support, Cold Judgment, Sharing the Limit. So there's plenty of incredibly good options that will allow you to, have these type of things and get these links, done. Obviously, a great linking partner for them is the other anniversary free-to-play unit, this Vegeta and Bulma. They share 4 links, which is great. Solid support, Sharing the Limit, Cold Judgment, and Saiyan Lineage. So they're getting a lot of key out of them, not to mention they're getting that 20% defense, plus they're also getting solid support, which is a good attack link, and they're activating half of their passive as well. So it's pretty solid, honestly speaking. It's actually a pretty decent combination. All in all, I think, they're great, and I think they're like a very fun to use LR. I don't think they were meant to be an LR that was taken into the most serious content. And they have a lot of decent linking partners across the board. So you're going to have a lot of fun with them. You can use them. They have great animations. And yeah, generally speaking, you should have an okay time. They're not too difficult to slot into any team. I don't think they're going to be a main star of any team, but they could definitely be a good unit to fill in where you're just missing a solid unit. Majin Buu Saga, you could definitely place them in as a floater. Hybrid Saiyans, 100% you can place them in a floater. Joint Forces, you can place them in as a floater, and they'll generally do okay. They'll probably do more than fine. And so that's the thing at the end of the day. You're just not going to have that many issues with running them. You know what I mean? I think that's something you can at least enjoy using them with. And yeah, like I said, there's some pretty solid options. One of the nice combos is this ability to have like Goku and Vegeta in the same card. The Goku and Vegeta combo cards on Joint Forces at least allows them to activate their full passive, and they're pretty decent linking partners. Saiyan Lineage, Shocking Speed, Solid Support, Legendary Power. They're all decent links that really help them out. The only thing you're missing is Cold Judgment, but you're gaining way more in terms of just the passive that they activate. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously, like I said, it fulfills both their passives to have the Goku and Vegeta unit, so that's at least something that's really, really worthwhile and going to kind of make them feel a lot better to run, I think, overall. But yeah, honestly speaking, I think they're pretty decent. A little bit limited, but pretty decent. But that's going to be it from me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like or leave a comment and I'll get back to you. But thank you so much for watching, and bye.